Okay, everybody, and we're going to have a little bit of fun here. We will call my horse over here. Get over here, Fred. Hello, Fred. Let's get on Fred. There we go. La 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 la. Woohoo! Woohoo! That's right, Fred. Woohoo! Look at this horse jump. Gotta admit, for free, this is not terrible, and it's not mouse directional. Okay, when you get on the horse, it's keyboard driven. So, and yes, you can use a controller with this. Hold shift to go. Okay. Woo! Go Fred! Fred is on tour. What's up, Fred? Look out! I'm coming. Okay. Now, how do I get off my horse? See, I figure if I press E to get on it, I press E to get off the horse, right? Oh, there we go. Ah, thanks, Fred. Okay, you can go back to your friends now. Just hang out over there somewhere. He's gonna run me over. See you, Fred. Oh, Fred's sad. That's okay. We feed him well over there. And of course, you got different types of horses over here, right? Lots of this is one of the free giveaways from last month. I never got around to messing with it. But it is kind of neat that you got different styles of horses and you got different you know, animations for it. And this is what I mean is fun about Epic. You don't have to be a top-notch animator to have some fun with this stuff. You can get a couple of free little, uh, what do you call it, environments, put some buildings in it, build up your own little thing. It's almost like you're building a game in itself. And then you just run the thing and save all that. You know, there's a few tricks and tips to learn, but it's not that hard. It's a hell of a lot easier than it was 20 years ago. Let me tell you. And it's a lot cheaper. Let me just tell you about 2011 when 3DS Max was $25,000 and they decided to give us all $10,000 off. Oh, oh, yahoo! I don't know where all my money went. Huh. Uh, that's enough. I'll tell you right there, that was enough to drive me to say, screw them. Okay. And then Bryce gave out 7.1, what do you call it? The problem is with Bryce, you could only get 2.5 gig of memory into the damn thing, so that you had to get real clever and tricky and use overlays and all kinds of not to say that if the guy didn't update that, if he updated that software, that DAS 3D wouldn't even need Unreal Engine. But anyway, they got some neat stuff over there for characters and different stuff, and they can help you with poses and animations in that, and with the DAS 3D, uh, what do you call it, plugin, you can bring it over. And I bitched at this guy, and we had this discussion first. I got his attention when I was taking spheres, and in an old version of Adobe Photoshop that made flat 2D planets that had clouds on it, I could put it around a sphere in sinusoidal, which is a mathematical term, where you'd have just on one side, you'd have a small black dot where it doesn't overlap. And what you could do is if you go back to the Adobe Photoshop, make a series of photos where you move the clouds a little. And then as you rotate the planet, you could actually have the clouds move. I got the attention of the guy and I said, listen, I love your character stuff. It's great and everything, but I can't do nothing with it legally, right? So now they've got um, a neat way of licensing, okay? If you do it for cinematics, what you buy from them, you can put into cinematics. It's yours. You can do whatever. But if you put it in a game, here's a little extra fee that we would ask you to pay. Now that's a cool way of doing it. And and that's why I went over there. And when I saw some sales, I grabbed some more stuff. That's the, you know, other things that you'll see in the future here. And the thing is, there's skeletal meshes where even the ships are, where you bring them into the Unreal Engine. I take them into, I edit them, and there's a little thing to record animations. You just move these objects as you move the bar, and you are suddenly animating a ship, or the back door of a ship opens, or the engines turn, or stuff like that. You know, landing gear comes out, you land. You know, and the neat thing is, um, the one thing I loved about Bryce was you could put an object into it, and you didn't need a spline. You had this little thing that you could drag in the directions that you wanted to go, and that was the path, and the object would follow it. It was really, really simple. I would love Unreal Engine to go and pay this guy and say, here, we want that technology, because that is far easier to use than the system Unreal Engine has, which is quite a bit of a pain, and then to record that, okay, in sequencing and stuff like that. But it's still, the whole thing is enough, right? Now, the one issue I had was I bought an environment or a spaceship, let's say, but it was packaged as an environment where all the pieces were in parts. And I've tried to bring it in as a skeletal mesh, but because it's such a, it would be such a strange one to the Unreal Engine, it crashed it every time. That's the unfortunate thing. So while they say it's for the Unreal Engine, I'd have to take each individual piece and put it back together and create various animations. And I'd have to fix some of the textures because they didn't import properly. That's something you got to deal with when you're in the engines and stuff like that. Most animators will know what I'm talking about. Nothing is a standard between different companies and whatever else. But anyway, been a fun day. Got lots of gaming going on now and different things like that. And you can tell this guy hasn't done proper collision. You know why? I can do this. See how the feet are? Watch. See? See that? That's, you do this when you're doing a video, okay, versus a game. Or you know an object won't be around a player because players will go, what the hell, right? It's called collision, okay? And there's simple collision like this, where there'll be a square around this that doesn't take as much resources, versus complex, which will go all the way around each little part of that rock, and then you'll be eating up your graphics card memory and everything else. Okay, for this demonstration here, for what he's doing, this is fine. Okay, and this works pretty good. I like this. Okay, now if I can implement this and other stuff, hey Fred, how you doing? Hey Fred, there goes Fred again. Oh, Fred's on tour. Yeah, anyway. Why did I name the horse Fred? I don't know. Fred F. Stone, Anyway, folks, I'll let this one go. And they did this in higher resolution than normal for Unreal Engine, which is 1280 by 720. This one's in 1080p. I hope more of that comes, because one of the issues in previous versions of the engine is when I go to change the resolution, it messes everything up. And it doesn't work right, or it doesn't look right, and all kinds of other junk. I'd rather have 1080p as the standard now. I think most people on their PCs or even their PlayStations, etc., are have that resolution. 720p might be good for phones, maybe. That'd be about it, right? But not everything's on a phone, everybody. Okay, to give you a statistic, 89 million desktops got sold last year. Okay, 150 million laptops. Okay, and this is by a place called Statistica that keeps all the statistics of this stuff. And that's worldwide. Okay, and this horse won't leave me alone, really. Anyway, that's 9.9% over the last year, and in the first quarter of this year, uh, it's up another 1.5%. And I was discussing how the 3070 graphics card, in most cases, in the cheapest case I could find on Amazon, has before yet today had dropped 18% in Canada. Okay, down to a price of around $800, 807 Canadian, I think it was. The only problem was there was only a few of those left. Well, others have stepped up into that, and now on Newegg, you see a brand new 3070 going for 767. Okay, that would be about another 2 or 3% cheaper than that other price. So the whole point is that things are getting cheaper finally. Give it another month or two. I'd say another month. Give it another month. Let all these games come out where they want us to be playing with really cool looking graphics and stuff. You know, let let's see what Nvidia and AMD are going to do with their new cards and stuff like that. Let's see what happens when the ETH mining is all stopped. Let's see as chip supplies and everything else gets normalized. RAM dropped something like 60% per gigabyte. Okay, I mean, when you look at all these things, it's becoming. You're going to get a next gen PS4 Pro or PS5 Pro and probably some new Xbox coming next year. Okay, because they got to keep a little bit ahead too, right? For you guys that are playing the consoles. Okay, and that's you know, but in the same respect, you got to make sure that the developers have graphic cards that are ahead of that so that they can push the envelope for what's coming down the pipe further on. And this is why some people might wonder why there are graphic cards in this generation that are better than the consoles. That's why you want to make sure that the developers have a little oomph. They're the guys that usually have a little bit more money because their company gives it to them, etc. Well, after a while, the prices come down. Like another 3, 4, 5%, and you're at or below MSRP for a 3070. So, happy times for everybody. It's at that point where I starved myself a little bit for 2 months, and then I to get one of those payday loan kind of things for on my disability where I get 260 extra bucks. Add that all together, I could get one of them cards without any issue, right? And then just pay the other guy back and then eat like a crazy person the next month. Probably get diabetes and heart attack and everything else. But anyway, that's another story. I lived long enough just to get the card in. So let's see. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna hit E. Or no, F to column. Come on over here. You gotta hold it down. And then I hit E. E. Oh, I gotta walk up to him. Okay. There we go. And then you use the W key, the A key, and the D key. Okay. And then shift to go. How do I, oh, and then the mouse will steer. The mouse will steer. Oh, interesting. It's very neat. Okay. And you stop and it goes to like that. Hit E. There we go. Happy times, Horsey. See you later, Fred.